Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos. I'm here to present Dream. It's a professional network for dreamers. Some of you are probably wondering what dreamers are. Dreamers are individuals that were brought to the United States when they were young, by their parents, and it was only later in their lives when they found out that these individuals were actually undocumented, and when they were applying for college and trying to find job opportunities and stuff, they weren't able to. And only until 2012 was when they got the opportunity to pursue their dreams, their careers, and get licenses and find jobs. My name is Carlos Arevalo. I'm a UX/UI designer. A few fun facts about myself: I love playing rugby, kayaking, and binge watching shows. This is the agenda. It's based on design thinking methodology, and the first thing you have to do is you have to empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and then test. The problem is these dreamers are looking to step into professional roles, and they don't know where to go for questions. There's not a reliable source for the type of questions that they're seeking. They can't just post it on LinkedIn when it's something as sensitive as their legal status. We believe that if we provide an online network for these dreamers, it will serve as an opportunity for them to reach out for professional advice and connect them with employers that are willing to hire them based on their skills. There's a few opportunities I saw. There's no current network for these individuals, and job boards such as LinkedIn and these types of networks, these professional networks, are too general. I conducted some surveys, and I received 117 responses. 87.2% of them are between ages 18 and 31. When I asked them when I asked them where did they go to ask for information, to organizations or other dreamers, they say they use Facebook. 50.4% of them hold a bachelor's degree or higher. 43.6% want to know more about job opportunities. 49.6% believe the greater public misunderstands DACA, which is Deferred Action for Child Arrivals. So this is the opportunity that they were given in 2012 to pursue their careers. And when I asked what goals they have for the coming 5 years, and 51.3% of them want to earn more money. And the reason why they want to do so is because they want to buy their first home or start a family of their own. Here are some interviews that I conducted, and I asked things such as how would they describe their current employment status, and these individuals are working full-time, going to school full-time, and how are they seeking paths to obtain a permanent status. They want to do it through professional experience and their degrees. After gathering all my results, I needed to synthesize all this data, and I created an affinity diagram to identify what problems these individuals were having. And they have the degrees, they have the experience, but they're having trouble finding jobs. They can't really, they don't know what to say in interviews when talking about being a dreamer or having DACA. And so I developed a user persona. Here we have Marcos Perez. He is 25 and he's a recent college grad. He's been applying for jobs for the past 6 months, and it's hard for him to find a job, and it's troublesome trying to find information based on what he's going through. So he doesn't really know who to reach out to. And here you can see his journey, where we can focus on a few months, for instance, after his graduation. He's seeking for jobs and he's trying to find information, but he doesn't know where to go. So I figured, how might we help dreamers get information from a reliable source? We could have in this network a forum or a messaging system where they could ask questions and get it from dreamers themselves. And also, how can we connect them with jobs that value them for their skills and degrees? So perhaps a job search function where they could see potential job opportunities. And so job searching, messaging, forums are definitely things that we need to include in this website. I then developed some concept sketches, and which led me to my lo-fi wireframes. I got some feedback such as that there's buttons that seemed like you were contacting the company directly, but it was actually to access the network. Then mid-fidelity prototype came after my lo-fi, and I tested it with 4 users, and they told me things such as like what are favorites, and that was meant to be like save jobs, and the active threads section was the replacement for like the messages that they were seeing. They already had a page for messages. So these are other like comments I got from other users, and for instance, like in the version 2 of my bin fidelity, I included logos and added some more buttons that were missing. And for instance, here there is 3 buttons, and 2 of them were basically for the same feature, so they thought it was redundant. So I made it a toggle. I then developed a mood board to gather some inspiration from my user interface, and I created a style tile with different typography and color palettes. I then created also a couple of mock-ups. People weren't, thought this was too much. They didn't think it fit the current style tile and my mood board, so I created another version. And from then, I created a style guide based on the atomic design methodology, where I include atomic elements such as icons, buttons, toggles, and organisms such as navigations, footers, based on all the elements that I've included here. Here, we go into my hi-fi prototype, and as you can see, now the resolution has increased. And I tested it, and 75% of users were having issues reading the small text, and they didn't know and really understand exactly what the active threads were. So I did things such as including like a category section in the thread card, so they could understand what that actually meant. And the styles are more coherent with the rest of the style from the dashboard. Here's another main page, which is the job results. You can see that there was like things that were not fully developed, such as like the typography and the logos. So I've changed that. I replaced things such as like where do you want to work? Like previously we had where are you looking? So people thought that wasn't clear enough. So here also we have the thread, which is in the community section of the website. And there was like a link that was repeated, and people thought it was unnecessary. So I made some changes, and I created my high fidelity prototype. And let's see. So here we start with the landing page, where it kind of gives them like an onboarding or an incentive for people to sign up for this site. And here they would sign in, they would see their dashboard where they could see notifications, save jobs, active threads, and let's say, in this case, Marcos Lopez wants to search for jobs. So he would click on jobs, and now he has the option to search, like, he studied accounting, so accounting, Miami, Florida, search. And here he gets the results. You can see here he's already bookmarked a couple of things. Let's say he wants to bookmark this as well, so he will. And over here, you could see that it says that there's 77 Dreamers in similar roles. So he could reach out to this network, and they could answer specific questions that he might have. And it's not a general network where maybe some people, he might get some backlash talking about this type of things. It's like these people understand what he's going through, and they could answer his questions much better if he were to post it anywhere else. So here he could create a post, and he'll ask a question, such as mentioning DACA when he's being interviewed. He submits it, and he gets a notification from Adrian Martinez. So he clicks here, and here you can see in the community page the thread and Adrian's response. So this is very helpful for him. So he replies, "Thank you, Adrian," submits it, and you can see it updated. So what are the next steps? I need to complete more tests of my MVP with my specific users. It's difficult to reach these individuals because it's a very sensitive topic, and in some instances, like when I was conducting interviews, they wouldn't reach out to me or whatever, but I feel that I can eventually conduct more testing on them to see if this is a product that can improve, and potential evolution of the product, because there's a lot of things going on right now in the government, and maybe this service might not be needed, but it could evolve, and these people could still be united and help each other out in the future. So thank you. You can reach me at LinkedIn or Carlos.